So I have been going around the net recently and for the past few days just checking out about Pokemon and researching on what to put in Gilbert's Pokemon adventures. And it came actually not came but I bumped into this article at Screen Rant that talk about Ash. As you can see right here, 15 times Ash cheated to win battles. Now, before I even start talking about this article, we need to respect the writer's opinion and the article itself, all because it's people's preferences. They talk about what they know, what they think, and what they have learned just knowing about Pokemon. And I want to know from you guys, in the comment section below or in the live comments, if you think that Ash have cheated during, I think, let's say they cheated to win battles in the Pokemon series. Now, I know people are out there probably who know Pokemon more than me. Maybe you were able to answer this. But to me, in a way, I say to myself that, wait a second, but it's either that Ash won, gym battles or battles through probably generosity in a way that probably he saved somebody, or in a way that he used something like he used tactics, he used strategy to win a battle. Now, this is where I'm getting to about this. Now, obviously, we know that in the past, when they started the series, there were a lot of times where like Ash has been so immature on the way he handled situations in battles, or even year 4, or even in his experience as a Pokemon trainer. So that is what we'll be getting to right now in this video. So let's get to it. Now, in this article, he did mention a few things in the beginning, especially with he said that Ash barely won any of his gym battles using controversial means. And he did say that somewhere that that Ash cheating takes a lot of different forms and severely breaking the rules to more subtle ways of achieving unfair advantages. Now, is this Ash's fault? No. But there is another thing that he also says, that the differences between the anime battling and also in the games battling. Now that is what we'll be talking about also right now. Anyway, let's get into the first one, which is the 15th one, which is called the using friendship and luck instead of actual tactics. Now, I'm gonna say no on this one, because if you're talking about the first series, you may have a point, but if you look onto it, like go into the Johto, the Hoenn, the Finnou, the Carlos, and then the new one right now, Alola, Ash has used tactics before. Now, let me just think. Now, now Ash used tactics with friendship and luck before. Remember in the Diamond and Pearl series, with when Ash trained his Pikachu, his Murfreeno, and his Buzzle to use the counter shield tactic. Now this was against Fantina, that earned him the relic badge in that same episode. Now this tactic ended up being for both offensive and defensive purposes later on in that Diamond and Pearl series. And what was surprising also is that, don't forget that also Ash used this against his rival Paul. And obviously at the time, Paul wasn't really interested in the counter shield technique until that when they faced each other, Ash and Paul in the Lily of the Valley conference in the Diamond and Pearl series, the Pokemon League competition. Paul used that against Ash. So it is a tactic. And don't forget that also Ash used different tactics as well, like with the Infernape when to get rid of the toxic spikes, Ash commanded his Infernape to use Dig and to use Flare Blitz to cancel the effects of the toxic spikes. So that's one of the tactics right there. And don't forget that also that Ash has matured over the years, especially in the X and Y series. Obviously, especially in the X and Y series, don't forget that in the first series, Ash wasn't training for the for his own. He was trying to catch up to Gary, his rival at the time. And over the years, Ash realized that actually it's not just about him, it's about his Pokemon. Him and his Pokemon working together. That's what he focused on different traits here on his Pokemon. Saying that, look, this Pokemon may not adapt to a certain style of training. I guess that this Pokemon needs to adapt to his own training, to his own way of doing things. And that's where that somebody probably like Pikachu and probably like Ash's Sceptile, probably they have different tactics, because Sceptile is probably a big grass type. So these are the things. And don't forget that also Ash, his philosophy is combining of trust, of friendship. So I will say on this part that no. I'll say on this part that Ash has used actual tactics before. If you mean the first series, then you may have a point. But Ash has used actual tactics before. And don't forget that this counter shield tactics that Ash come up with, or where that he got it from, was the fact that his battling style is unusual, it's spontaneous, but also fairly orthodox, and that is, and that reflects on his Pokemon, and especially on their traits. So yeah. So and to say about luck, who doesn't have luck in life? So are you trying to say that Ash doesn't deserve luck? I mean, if you come with friendship, if you build friendship with your Pokemon, especially right now in games, Pokemon does get stronger with training, because Ash does train his Pokemon, and luck has to come with it. Everywhere in life, luck comes with it. So so me, I would say no. Ash had used tactics before. Now let's get on to the 14th one. Now it's Mega Evolving Greninja without a proper stone. Now, in this one, he knows the barn phenomenon. The writer knows the barn phenomenon, and the thing is that now I'm pretty much sure that the people who wrote Pokemon probably did this for marketing purposes. That's what I think. To let Ash go toe to toe against Mega Evolved Pokemon at the time. Obviously that's what the X and Y series, Pokemon X and Y was known for, especially the games. But the plus side was the fact that this form here, as Greninja, was given to a starter Pokemon of Carlos, and probably the writers here wanted to do something different. As I said, the plus side was the fact that they managed to give something like this to a starter of for the Carlos region. So then should we say that's Ash's fault? And also the thing about it is that the bomb phenomenon is similar to Mega Evolution. We will never know how Mega Greninja will look like. We don't know if Mega Greninja will look the same or not. But it is said to be connected to the hidden potential of that Pokemon, especially this form called the bomb phenomenon. And the only differences here between this bomb phenomenon, with the trainer and Pokemon, like you guys probably already know, is that Ash shares the Pokemon's pain when this is mastered. Ash also had to master this transformation, not like Mega Evolution, where the Pokemon have to use a Mega Stone and the trainer has to use a Keystone. See, and don't forget that also that Ash, was not the only person yet to achieve this transformation. In this episode, I think it was called the Festival of Decisions. I think when the evil ninjas were attacking were attacking I think the ninja village of Sanpei. And you know, Ash's Frogady evolved into Greninja and obviously assumed the bomb phenomenon around in that same episode. Don't forget that at the end of that episode, it was revealed long ago that the village hero Greninja also achieved this transformation. So don't forget that this is not only Ash, and it's not Mega Evolving Greninja. This is not a Mega Evolve. This is a different. This is similar to, but it's not Mega Evolving. It's not Mega Evolve, and you know, I don't know if this is also in the Japanese dub, but as you also realize that Arlon and his Charizard, I think at the end of the Pokemon League competition and when they defeated Team Flare, Ash realized that Arlon and Charizard didn't have a Mega Stone. And Arlon said that he wanted you to follow Ash's footstep. So then you never know if Arlon will achieve a similar thing like this for his Charizard. But that's only for the writers to do it. That's only the writers to do it. And you know, and through this maximum bonding with your Pokemon, you should be able to achieve this form. But it's different from the games where like you have that unique ability called Battle Bond. Battle Bond. You know, like when you defeat a Pokemon, you know, when like in a Pokemon battle and then you defeat the Pokemon and then another Pokemon is coming, it will transform, or because of like even for real, when a Pokemon has defeated a Pokemon in a battle, friendship does increase. You know, bonding increases with your Pokemon. It increases. So this one has a little bit of like has a link to Bond Phenomenon and Battle Bond. They're meant to be kind of similar. That's why it's different between the games and difference here in the anime. You know, and I'll tell you this one as well, that I remember in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, when I was facing Team Rainbow Rocket. And this was against Giovanni. And I remember I had a few Pokemon left, and then I used Froakie. Now, you guys might be thinking, how did I get Froakie in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? I'll leave that to you guys here to think of how I did that. But but what I'm trying to say is that I only had a few Pokemon left in my team, and I used Froakie against Giovanni. And because of the high friendship, the maximum friendship, the bond between, you know, obviously between what I've done for Froakie in the game, somehow Froakie managed to defeat some of Giovanni's powerful Pokemon. And the thing about it is that Froakie was on its last bit of its HP. It was 1 out of how much how much hit points it has. Every time the powerful Pokemon keep hitting Froakie still handled it. It was like, no, I'm not giving up. So the bond, the friendship does make Pokemon powerful. And this is what, and this thing might be something similar. This one right here. Bond Phenomenon could be something similar. The bonding that I mentioned before, you know, my Froakie defeating Giovanni was something similar. But obviously we know that this, you know, high friendship, high bond, you know, powerful Pokemon hitting Froakie a lot of times, staying, you know, 1 hit points here for half of the battle, won't happen every time. But what I remember, when I first saw that was astonishing. And you can see that kind of relates or links here to like a bond being so maximum that it does this. Hidden potential, bringing like the hidden potential of a Greninja. And you can see that also with the bond and the maximum bond that did in the games here for Froakie, that Froakie managed here to bring here its let's say like its maximum potential, you know, of Froakie. So I'll say no to that. Alright, now 13. Now this one, when I saw this one, I said, okay, now TT and Bulbasaur, Whirlwind, and Dig. Obviously, we know that this one, the Whirlwind, was I think it was a dubbing error. I think in the Japanese dub it said blow it away, but I think in the English dub they said Whirlwind, and also Learning Dig. Now, if this guy has even research, if you've done a little bit of research, you will know a little bit more. Even he said he blow it away, so he does know a little bit of some things. But if you do a little bit more research, you will know certain things, because throughout the series, a lot of trainers has had moves that Pokemon are not supposed to learn. And this is what you call anime errors, or dubbing errors, or writing errors, or whatever you call it. Like in the anime, you see Raticate doing jump kick, or like Pidgey doing peck, or like Lance's Dragonite doing whirlwind. Even Claire, the Johto Dragon gym leader, even used whirlwind. So it's not only Ash on this one. It's not only Ash that, oh yeah, look, Ash here can tell his Bulbasaur to do whirlwind. It's not only Ash here. And he did say it's a dubbing error. See, if you research a little bit more, you will realize that actually trainers in the anime have actually had Pokemon does moves that it's not even supposed to learn. And this is unknown yet if it's actual mistakes or not, or that the writers haven't looked closely into the games. But Professor Oak did state once that in times in need, Pokemon can call upon power that had never been known to them previously, such as Ash's Bulbasaur learning Dig. And that episode, I think it was Bulbasaur, the Ambassador episode. I think that's what it was. So yeah, so this one I'll say no. Other trainers, have been into that, been in this kind of problem when it's a dubbing error. So yeah, you see that this guy had done his research, but I've done a little bit more research. You will realize that actually more trainers, are in the same brackets, with Ash. Ash having Pokemon that is not even supposed to learn, especially Dig. So I'll say no on that. Now 12, I can't really defend 12, really. I think this is one of the ones that I can't really defend because I think in this episode, the Cylinder Dream, I think in this episode I remember when I think Ash kind of teased the perfume. I think it was a perfume shop, I'm not really sure. Forgive me if I got that wrong. A perfume shop, but not knowing actually the perfume shop was linked or is the Cylinder gym. And the thing is that a gym leader shouldn't back down from a challenge. But if you watch this episode carefully, or let's say like as human beings, if you're gonna feel offended if someone teases something about you, about your gym, about your item, or about anything in life that is close to you, or what you do, or who you are. But this might be the writer doing something different for Ash. But don't forget that Ash did save the gym leader, Celadon Gym Erica. Don't forget that Ash did save her gloom that earned him the badge, really. So it looks like it's the writers. And, it's his, and I think it's that kind of thing, like generosity. His, Ash stepping up as a Pokemon trainer. Him as a Pokemon trainer, maturing and actually saving a Pokemon in a times of need. So yeah, but this is one of the first. This is actually I think this is probably the first in this article that I kind of agree that that me, I cannot agree with him more. But don't forget that Ash did do something brave, as with his friends, to put out a fire to win, obviously to win the badge, so yeah. So for that, I'm half on this one. That one right there, Team Rocket was the one that definitely did the major, did the breaking and that. and did the I think they stole the perfume in that episode. So and then I think that and I think all that kills caused an explosion or whatever that was. So yeah, But anyway, 11, inventing the ice orchid hybrid move. This one, this one, I'll say this one is a tactical move, and this is the differences here between games and the anime. Like what I said in the beginning of the video, that when it comes to combination moves, this is actually tactics, really. The only combination move that I can really think on top of my head is Fire Pledge, Water Pledge, and Grass Pledge. Where even in a double battle, and two of Pokemon each does either Fire Pledge, one Pokemon does Fire Pledge, and then the other does either Water Pledge or Grass Pledge, the move you will end up being a combination attack. And also some benefits here will come from that during battle. So I cannot, this is when that thin line here comes in here between what you can do in the games and what you can do here in the anime. And, this is an improvised move. The thing is that if you can find a way here to defeat a gym leader or a powerful Pokemon trainer in the anime, in anime, in some way or another, but it better not be cheating, then yeah, they call that as being very, very intelligent for figuring out something to defeat that trainer. So I think this is a tactical move, but guys, don't forget to tell me your views in the comment section below or in the live comments. Just tell me what you guys think here. If the ones that I've just been through, if you think here these ones here needs to be debunked. Now, 10. I cannot really defend this one because I think it's just the writers, trying to give Ash something easy, to. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things, and it's kind of like, Ash cannot battle against that powerful psychic gym leader Sabrina, and obviously we know that story of how he went to Pokemon Tower to get Hunter, come back, and then Hunter disappeared when Ash really wanted him the most, and then all of a sudden Hunter made Sabrina laugh. I don't me. I can't really defend that. Obviously, I wish I can actually talk to the writers in Japan and talk to them about whoever written this episode, that written these parts. The gym and the Pokemon Tower episodes of what they were thinking when they made these episodes. So I can't really defend this one. Number 9, as usual, this one, unfairly using overpowered Pokemon versus Casey. Now this one, I cannot. This picture explains it. And this picture made me laugh when I first saw it. This one, I cannot defend that as well. You cannot say that Ash did not cheat on this one. I think this one, Ash used his powerful Charizard and defeated Casey's Chikorita very, very easily, and I think that was unfair. I think that was very, very unfair. So I can't defend that. Now, number 8, teaching Pikachu impossible moves. Now, the thing is that, as I said before, what Professor Oak said, that there are times in need when Pokemon can call upon power that never been known to them previously. And the thing is that this comes to when you wish a Pokemon knew these moves. And it kind of relates to me, certain Pokemon like Froakie, for example. And I remember one time when I was researching about Froakie, I said to myself, wait a second, you're trying to tell me that Froakie doesn't know other water moves? Froakie knows Bubble, Hydro Pump, later on when you are training it. But I was wondering myself, why doesn't Froakie know something like Aqua Jet, Water Gun, Bubble Beam, Aqua Ring, Ice Punch, Whirlpool, moves like that? And that is why people like me wish Pokemon, like Froakie or any other Pokemon, wish that they learn these moves, because it kind of makes sense. But the thing about it is that, as I said, even he said Ash Pikachu uses layer. This one is exactly the same thing as what I said about Professor Oak, stating that once that that there are times when Pokemon can call upon power that had never been known to them previously. And this is it. So this one I would say no. I would say no. Yeah, this one I can't really defend, because I cannot defend that. Somehow electrical moves can beat ground types. Yeah, I mean, that one I can't defend. So yeah, for this one he's right. Now, number 6, using another trainer's Pokemon. Now, he thinks that this is an unfair advantage in of itself. He said that, but the way in which Ash procures his Charmander is particularly controversial. And he's thinking that Ash is catching other people's Pokemon. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. He said, yeah, you can't catch other people's Pokemon. He said that it was some kind of he said it's one of the fundamental rules of the series. Now, the thing about it is, Charizard is different. Charizard is different. Charizard is different because the thing about it is that, look, Ash Pignite, when it was a T-Pig, and Ash's Infernape when it was a Chimchar, those ones are also different because those Pokemon were actually released. But for Charmander, like Charizard right here, it's different because when Darmian did that to Charmander, when it left it on the rock to kind of die or to kind of toughen up, I mean, how does that? It's like, man, just imagine doing that to a child or anything like that. Just imagine doing that to someone that you love, like a dog or a cat, leaving out in the cold, in the rain. And the way Darmian treated Charmander. No wonder your Charmander said, nope, forget that. I'm going to go with Ash. The thing about this is that Charmander chose, that's the word, chose to go with Ash. So that is why it was allowed to be caught. So this one is different. This one is different. But as usual, guys, tell me in the comment section below if you think that I'm wrong, because I would like somebody to just tell me if I'm wrong on that. But I basically think that actually that was Charmander's decision to go with Ash. So that is why that Charmander that's why Ash got Charmander in the first place. Number 5. This one is tactics, as usual, because if you are, for example, for real, if Pokemon was for real, just assuming, because obviously in the games you can never aim for the Hoenn. You have to use actual tactic and strategy, like use spikes, toxic spikes, use Will-O-Wisp, or use use moves to make it paralyzed, like Thunder Wave, or burn, like what I said before, like Will-O-Wisp, or use Curse to decrease its hit points to Pokemon. But this one is different because in the series, for example, if a Pokemon you had let's say like a Hoenn that was full of water and his body was electric or was ground, then in some cases if you're thinking of a strategy, you would say to yourself, actually, let Pikachu aim for the Hoenn because electric type. Because if that Pokemon's Hoenn is full of water, there is a way that probably Pikachu can able to make at least some significant damage. So I think that this one's tactical. And I think it's tactics here that builds on in battle as well. It's like, I remember when it's like, look at what Ash in the X and Y series did against Olympia, when Ash used Frogadier and Talonflame. That one was great combination moves. to defeat to defeat the attack that was closing against them, especially when Frogadier was paralyzed. So these are tactics. Aim for the Hoenn. These are tactics. I mean, no. I'll say tactics, but I do probably agree at some point that this had got to do with probably the writers trying to do something different. But even for me, if I was to use Gilbert in Gilbert's Pokemon Adventures to do that, I will do that because it's a tactical move. It's like this one. Like if Squirtle goes into his shell to withdraw and does and then the electric attacks, it doesn't affect. Assuming that it didn't affect Squirtle, the only way that Pikachu can defeat Squirtle is like either if it does electric in the hole of the shell. So that's where Squirtle is. So tactical move. Anyway, number 4, beating Jesse. Oh boy, where is the I? Beating Jesse and Jim instead of Giovanni in the video and Jim. Yeah, now this one, this one is writers definitely. Yeah, they definitely gave let Ash get off this one very, very lightly. Especially, but look, this one is right. This one's writing. This was definitely the writers what they have done. This is just the writers what they have done and what they did to make it easier for Ash. For me, I would like Gilbert to go against Giovanni. I would like Gilbert to go against the best. But the thing about it is that in Gilbert's Pokemon Adventures, Gilbert did not go against Giovanni. Because there's a backstory behind Gilbert in Team Rocket. That Gilbert actually defeated Giovanni in the Kanto Battle Frontier series. And this one is after the Hoenn region series, which was actually, obviously the Kanto Battle Frontier series was obviously at this point in time is not being produced at the moment, but I can tell you right now that Gilbert did defeat Giovanni in the Kanto Battle Frontier when Gilbert was defeating Team Rocket in Kanto for the Battle Frontier, let's say competition. I would say, so I will want Gilbert to face the best, and I just think that probably they could have done this to Ash, but obviously, as I said. Yeah, it's the writers. Yeah, definitely. Let Ash very, very let Ash off lightly there. This one is a tactical one. This tactical. This one reminds me of what I said about the when Ash faced Olympia. When Frogadier and Talonflame. This obviously this one is Pikachu and Swellow in the Hoenn region series, but this one reminds me of when Ash and X and Y series was facing Olympia, when obviously Talonflame and Frogadier, had a really tough match because of the future sight. This one is this one's exactly the same thing. It's tactics. And obviously, if the thing is that if Ash did find some clouds to give Swellow thunder armor through Pikachu to Swellow, then that's a tactical thing. Even, let me tell you something, even the writers, they could have let the gym leader do that. They could have let the gym leader use the clouds to go against Pikachu and Swellow in the Hoenn region series. So I think this one's tactical. Yeah, this one, number 2. Another thing, about the writers, they're being generous, being very, very generous, and also letting Ash off very, very lightly. I really think that the writers, they try to let this is exactly like the Erica one. And the thing about it is that in that episode, I think when Ash faced Misty and her sisters, I think when Ash received the badge, I think that was out of not just generosity, but as proof it as a Pokemon trainer stepping up, and I think that's what the writer's done here. Number one, activating the sprinklers versus Brock. Yeah, now this one is a big one because obviously a lot happened around this time when Pokemon first came out. When Ash was faced against Brock. Now, let me tell you something. Ash had no chance against no chance yet against Brock, because obviously Ash at the time you had Pikachu, Pidgeotto, and Butterfree. So them three did nothing. And the writers, as I said, the writers knew that. The writers knew that Ash had no chance. But what they did is that they pumped up Pikachu's electric attacks, because don't forget that around this time, Pikachu's electric attacks got pumped even more. Even though Pikachu is already powerful by itself, its electric attacks was pumped up even more. And that's how that it defeated Brock's Geodude. Even though that I will never know how, as I said, in the ones above, how electric attacks can beat ground and rock types, I will never know. But this one year was very, very historic episode for Ash, because what happened is that when Ash, I remember I think Pikachu was stuck on Brock, Onix. And then after, there was a chance here for Pikachu to do Thunder Shock, and then because of the sprinklers, because of that effect, Onix took effect upon the sprinklers and the Thunder Shock. And the thing about it is that Brock's family stopped Ash from finishing off Brock. Don't forget that Ash did stop himself and said that he'll come back when the time is right. And Brock really, really liked that from Ash. Because Ash, for the first time, thought common sense as a trainer, even though he was a rookie. And for that, as a Pokemon trainer, especially when Brock has said that even he wants to achieve his dreams, as well as he wants Ash to achieve his dreams, that Ash, received his first badge from Brock. So for this one, if you said that this one if you try to do it, if you're trying to compare it with the games and the anime, you have to really, really look at the writers, because I think the writers are responsible for that, because the writers they can easily look into the game and say, oh yeah, look, I think Ash needs to get probably a Oddish, or probably get a Bulbasaur now, so then that way he can go against Brock's Onix and Geodude, or probably Ash needs to get Squirtle now. But I think the writers are responsible for that for kind of stretching, stretching away between the anime and the games. I think that is why articles like this is even out there. Even the writer's opinion, even he thinks that even Ash is cheating. And I just think that this one definitely, even though Ash had a plan. Obviously, as I said before in the beginning, that everybody in life needs to have luck, and does Ash deserve luck? He does. And don't forget that Ash's Pikachu Electric Shock, or if it was Thunderbolt, Thunder Shock, Thunderbolt, hit the sprinklers. So that was luck. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop right there, because I think that will do for this article. But guys, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think, because anyway, don't forget that this video is for us just to talk and debate. And I want to know, guys, what you think in the comment section, because there are some things here that you can debunk, and there are some things that you can't debunk. But as I said, that these are the writers' preferences. That even me personally, I think that Ash didn't cheat. I think that luck comes with it. I think luck comes with it. No, I just want to point this out to any Pokemon fan or anybody who like Pokemon, because as I said before, that the games and the anime are different, and maybe yes, as I said, maybe yes, the writers probably are responsible for that separation between the anime and the games. Like in the anime, there are some towns, cities that you won't see in the games. See, so that's another difference right there. But anyway, guys, thank you once again for watching this half debunk or debunk, guys. Don't forget just to tell me your views in the comment section below, and there might be a poll on this video, so watch out for that, just to give me your vote if you think certain things are what the writer said in this video, to think, if you think that he was right or he was wrong. But Rob Lane or Lean Lane, me personally, I don't think Ash cheated. I just think that I don't think there's some circumstances that made Ash what he did. And obviously, as I said, it's like when Ash, there are times where Ash have done some stupid and dense and immature stuff, especially like I said before, like Ash's childhood against Casey's low-level Chikorita. That one was very unfair. That one was very unfair, and the writers, are using shortcuts. That's what they're doing for Ash to win badges and this and that. But that's what I personally think. But don't forget, guys, that that we have to respect the writer's opinion on this article. We have to respect it, because don't forget that even this is a preference thing, because you never know. Probably there are some things in here that probably I might think that he didn't cheat, or you guys think that probably he did cheat, Ash. But all these things, even I think it's tactical. As I said, this one, I think it's a writer's thing. But even as I said, this one, I think the writers did something very, very dense there. What's funny is that the writer, Rob Lean, or whatever you call it, doesn't write much about Pokemon. So that tells us a bit of a story that he must have just did a little research, then written this article in 2017. But if we did much more research, you will realize that some things on this list wouldn't be here. As I said before, that there are some things on this list that I do agree, and there are some things on this list that I don't agree. So as I said, that this is this preference. But I tell you, man, if you can tell that this guy knew what he was talking about. He knew some things about Pokemon, especially the bond phenomenon, electric moves, the ice Aqua Jet, and certain things. But don't forget that all of these things are all tactical. Some of these things are tactical. Some of the things are just writers, shortcut for Ash. So it's not actually Ash's fault that Ash is this character that that does these things, save America's gloom and wins a badge here for his generosity and his bravery. So that can't be all Ash. But as usual, as I said before, that these are people's preferences, and we have to respect the writer's opinions. But with much research or more research, you will know, especially with Bulbasaur learning legit moves, or Pikachu learning impossible moves. Don't forget that it's not just Ash. It's all Pokemon trainers. It's all Pokemon trainers. That Pokemon learns moves that they shouldn't learn, or can't learn in games. So there we go. So it's not always Ash. Anyway, take care of yourself. Bless, peace, and I see you down the road.